Hey everybody, happy July. I hope everyone had a wonderful 4th of July weekend. We're able to celebrate our nation's independence. We are in a new fiscal year, and we are, of course, emerging from the effects of the COVID pandemic. As many of you know, last week the governor ended the broader public health state of emergency and declared a more limited state of emergency that continues to recognize that we continue to be affected, especially economically, by the fallout from COVID. So that particular declaration allows us to continue with our P-SNAP work, our sort of expanded food stamp benefits that were available because of the pandemic. We continue to issue those. We, of course, are also working to get back to, on the child welfare side especially, to seeing our children and families 100% in person, which will begin in September. Till then, we're kind of getting more and more in-person work as we also, as an agency, really figure out what our future workplace will look like, what our telework policies will be like, et cetera. So stay tuned for that. P-EBT, as many of y'all know, is a program that we did last summer to help families that during that school year, especially when everything was shut down between March and May, to get the families that should have been getting free and reduced lunch, the P-EBT benefit, sort of reimburse them for that. Now we're again doing it again. I think I've said this. We're issuing it for both the 2021 school year, and then there's also a summer benefit. But we need to remember a few things. We've got the data that we need. But we're also doing some school surveys to make sure we get the right amount of P-EBT for each school district. And then once we get all those calculations complete, we can give everyone an idea of what the schedule will be like to get these benefits out. Some things to remember: not every parent in every county will receive P-EBT. For example, some schools were open the entire time this last year, so those families may not be eligible for the school year P-EBT. So the other thing is a lot of children receive sort of blanket free and reduced lunches all year. So remember, if to get the P-EBT for the past year, you had to be a family that both applied for and was approved for free and reduced lunch during the school year. If you didn't apply and receive it, then I'm afraid you're not going to be on our file of eligible children. The summer P-EBT program is going to have a different amount than the one last year. We've kind of gotten a standardized amount for each family. And there's also a P-EBT child care component for children under age 6, but only SNAP households will receive this benefit, and non-SNAP households will not. We're going to have a toll-free line and a website to clarify all this, but please be patient with us as it took a while to get the P-EBT plan approved by the federal government. There's a lot of data, a lot of technological stuff to be done, IT work, a lot of data to be collected, and really appreciate the partnership with DECAL, the Department of Education, and all the work, of course, of our staff in getting where we needed to be. Also, on the OFI side, many of you know that we are in a bit of a holding pattern on our Pathways to Coverage program. Now we have the system set up, we've got the folks trained, we've got our teams ready to go, but we're currently waiting on federal approval to start the program, and hopeful that we will get that sooner rather than later, as we know it will help more folks who need medical assistance to get it. We'll keep everyone updated as we hear more on that. Now, State Advisory Board meeting is next week. It's July 13th from 10 to 12:30. If you have any questions about what we're doing at the agency, that's a great way is to tune in to this. It's going to be a virtual meeting still, so you can sign up to participate or to listen and watch. So I want to encourage everybody to do that. We're also, of course, in the time of year when we are looking at our potential legislative agenda for the next year, for January. So if any of you have any great ideas that you think we need to implement in the state through legislation or even through policy, I hope you'll let me know, and we'll consider those, and hopefully if they're really good ideas, we can convince the governor's office and or the General Assembly and the Lieutenant Governor's office to support us on those. I want to end on a wonderful high note today. We had some awards that were given out at the state bar's recent convention. First of all is the Justice Hines Awards for the Outstanding Attorney and Outstanding Caseworker at DFACS. So I'm going to, in a moment, I'm going to simply, not going to tell you a lot about them, but I'm going to let the video speak for itself because we were able to capture some video of the presentations of these awards. I'm going to try to tack it on to the end of this Tuesday talk. But I'll tell you that Ms. Christie Williams, who is in Chattooga County, she served our children and youth up there as a frontline worker for over 25 years. She was our case manager of the year. And Mr. Rick Jones, who does a lot of great deal of parent and child attorney work in the Blue Ridge Circuit, was our attorney. We also have had presented the Judge Willie Lovett Awards, named in memory and in honor of my dear old late friend Willie Lovett, who was a juvenile court judge here in Fulton County. So the one of those awards went to Judge Leroy Burke III, who recently retired after many, many wonderful years of service on the Chatham County Juvenile Court bench, and also to Ira Foster and Michael Randolph for their excellent work. And again, I think we got some video explaining more about that.
So my name is John Paul Berlin. I'm the current chair of the Child Protection Advocacy section of the State Bar. We are in our 10th year. It started with Nikki Vaughn and many other members of the bar that created this 10 years ago. It's been super exciting for me because a great beginning from Nikki and continue to grow. We have over 500 members, the most members we've ever had. We have a representative in each judicial district, all 10 of them. And so we're super happy to make sure that the section is represented through all 4 corners of the state. The Judge Willie Lovett Award was created 5 years ago. This is our 5th annual celebration of Judge Lovett. His widow, Salithia Butler, is in the other room. I want to recognize that she's present for this. This year's award-winning award, after a committee met and decided that people meet the descriptions, that's the requirements for that award. And I know there's so many technical awards, but I'd like to quote one person, which is to quote Judge Lovett, as someone who has a soaring intellect, who is a compassionate advocate, and always had a great sense of humor, for those who knew him. And so this year's award winners are Ira Foster as our non-judge but advocate, and last year's winner for the non-judge advocate was Michael Randolph, public defender. And this year's judicial award is none other than Leroy Burke III, who's right there on the screen.
I think I'm unmuted. I'm just very humbled to receive this award. I knew Judge Lovett, and he was everything that you said he was. So thank you very much for the award.
Good morning. On behalf of the Supreme Court of Georgia and the Court's Justice for Children Committee, which I chair, it's my honor to present the 5th annual Chief Justice P. Harris Hines Awards for Outstanding Advocacy for Children in Dependency Proceedings. This award is sponsored by the Justice for Children Committee and the state's Office of the Child Advocate, and it's named in honor of our former colleague, P. Harris Hines, who led the committee for many years and who made improving the juvenile justice system and protecting children in need a major priority throughout his 4 decades on the bench. As you know, Justice Hines died in a car accident shortly after leaving the bench in 2019, and we all still miss him greatly. I'm glad we can continue to honor him by recognizing others who've devoted themselves and their careers to improving the lives of Georgia's children. Every year we present the Hines Award to 1 attorney and 1 case manager from the Division of Family and Children's Services, DFACS, who each exemplify outstanding advocacy for children in dependency cases. This year's Case Manager Award goes to Christie Williams. Ms. Williams works in the DFACS office in Chattooga County. She was nominated by her county director with support from her entire team. She served for more than 25 years as a frontline case manager in Chattooga County. She gets to know all of the children and families with whom she works and tailors her case plans to their specific needs. She's available to them day and night, even when she's not on call, and she goes out of her way to find resources for them. Ms. Williams is a true partner for her families and works with them to achieve safety, permanency, and well-being for their children. Ms. Williams is not only a team player for them, but for her coworkers. She's the first to volunteer to go out on a case with a coworker to cover their on-call time and to reach out personally to see if anyone needs help. She mentors new case managers and is a true example of a person with a servant's heart. She's a natural leader of her unit and a great example to other defects case managers. Ms. Williams, we're grateful for your incredible advocacy on behalf of the children you serve, and we're honored to present you with the 2021 Chief Justice P. Harris Hines Award for Outstanding Advocacy for Children in Dependency Proceedings. This year's Attorney Award goes to Rick Jones. Make your way up here, Rick. Mr. Jones has worked in the Blue Ridge Circuit for over 20 years. He was nominated by Cherokee County Juvenile Court Judge Jennifer Davis, and I want to share with you some of the things she told us about it. Throughout his distinguished career, Mr. Jones has represented parents and many children. He zealously advocates for the children on his caseload and connects with those kids and has a way of explaining to them both the litigation process and their legal rights so that children feel, as they are supposed to feel, that they are the most important part of the case. Mr. Jones never fails to obtain records about children that everyone else has missed. He captures the child's entire life, and he centers others on the true goals for the children he serves. He makes sure that they have the services they're entitled to and the funding that's out there to support them, and he advocates for children to return to their families as soon as it's safe. He also mentors and shares resources and trains new lawyers and SAGs so they can benefit from his knowledge and experience. He's such an asset to the juvenile courts and to the children he serves. Mr. Jones, we're grateful to you for being such an excellent lawyer for children, and we're honored to present you with the 2021 Chief Justice P. Harris Hines Award for Outstanding Attorney Advocacy for Children in Dependency Proceedings. So last, before I leave, I want to emphasize a point that I always make when we present these awards that's even more important as we've endured this pandemic. When it comes to the children in our state's child welfare system, we all need to do more and do it sooner and do it smarter. I hope all of us, those who work in the area and those who don't, will use your leadership positions in your communities to improve justice for Georgia's children. It's great to recognize these two outstanding advocates, but there are thousands of people working in our child welfare system who deserve our recognition and appreciation. I hope you'll look for opportunities to recognize their hard work as you work in your local communities. Thank you all for supporting the work that lawyers and judges and everyone else do to help protect the children in our state who most need the opportunity to become productive and happy Georgians. Thank you.
Thank you for your dedication. And all of you out there who are working with us, let's continue to work together as a system, child protection system, a system of protecting vulnerable families and children, of getting folks the economic support they need. Keep it up, and Georgia will be a better place for your work. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.